everybody, and welcome to the Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined podcast. I'm your host this week, Hassan, joined as always by co-host Tristan.
Hey, it's me. It's co-host Tristan.
Folks, we have an important episode this week because it's Tristan's topic, and we're here to talk about a video game.
Yeah, we are.
That he has declared as a game that elevates the very medium of video games, whose stories and characters have emotionally impacted his life in ways that no other game have. Gameplay that is a pinnacle across the history of games. That's right, folks. We're here to talk about Forspoken. Tristan, it's your topic, so if you want to take it away and explain why you said all those things.
You know, I don't think I said any of that. I'm pretty sure I've said something that's a lot different than that.
Well, I said in the opening, so no takes backsies on it.
Okay. You want a positive spin on Forspoken?
Well, I mean, you're the one who said those things, so I don't have any skin in the game here. It's
bring this title card.
You who believes this is the greatest game you've ever played.
You got silly hats on the title card. Greatest game ever played? Okay. The combat is the free running. Yes, there we go. The free running is mostly decent.
Greatest game you've ever played.
That's the episode. Yeah. God, I wish if I was a video game developer, I would take whatever mediocre, mid as hell review and just slap that in the front. Fuck it. Hell yeah.
I meant to look at. Okay, when did I play that game? Wow, okay, March 31st, 2024 is when I last played that game. So about 2 years for me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest, most of my memories of this game are hazy at best.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
But Tristan, why are we here to talk about Forspoken?
All right. So Forspoken has seen a bit of a revival in a lot of the online spaces. It has. I'm not wrong.
I'm more so questioning, could it be a revival if it was barely ever alive? I'm genuinely not trying to punch down on the game, but that game was such a just tiny blip that I don't know it can have a revival.
Well, here's the thing. It effectively was a dead game right off the bat. It did get DLC, so I mean, not totally dead. Clearly, Square Enix and Luminous Studios thought there was something more to the game than what was presented. And so there are a lot of people out there who have convinced schlubs like me to at least give this game a try. However, none of these people, majority of the people anyway, I shouldn't say none of, majority of the people who would try and convince you to play Forspoken, I will say, omit some things. They will usually be honest and okay, the story's not great, it's kind of slow at times, yada yada yada. It has a few problems, and they don't mention something that's a key factor in the actual enjoyment of this game, and that is The first 9.5 hours of this game are horse shit. And I stand by that.
That long?
That long.
Now you're going to make me go back and look to see how long did I play that game for.
How long did you play the game for?
Because I definitely remember that is a game that it takes a while to so my total play time, it says, is 15.9 hours, so 16 or so hours.
So you got a little further than I did.
I beat the game.
What? I'm 10 hours in.
Boss.
There's no way you've only played for 15 hours then.
That's what Steam says.
There's no way.
I believe it.
I don't.
Maybe I'm just good at the game. Get good, scrub.
I beelined to the first Tanta, and that took me 8.5 hours. And then the game force-fed me into fucking Storyland, which I hate. And then I sat there with my thumb in my ass, going like, okay, when's this get interesting again? When can I just got the firepowers. Why can I not do anything right now? Why did it force me to go here and go into Story World?
Sounds like you're bad at the game.
It's not.
I'm good at games. Tristan bad at game. It's official now. So,
son,
you declared Forspoken the pinnacle of gameplay. So
I did
clearly,
not declare that. That is not what I declared.
That's for your words.
Yeah,
no, that's definitely a game. If somebody asked me, should I play Forspoken, my answer would be like,
no, but
if you could pick that game up cheap enough, because I definitely did. I don't know how much I paid for that game, but I bet it was probably only $15 or something.
Yeah, but that's what it was for me.
Because
I
looked it up.
Apparently.
It looks like they've never revealed official sale numbers, but
Crazy.
At least according to Sensor Tower, for Steam, they think it's only sold around 250,000 units. So that game's probably sold less than 1 million units, which is definitely a flop.
I just looked it up. Actually, apparently only got 7.5 hours in, which that's not possible. Like when I last checked Steam, when I logged out, I looked at the hour count and it was at 10.
You're clearly having so much fun. It's just delaying time for you.
Apparently so. Which means I got halfway through the game, I guess. Which is bad. That's bad. That's horrible news for that game, because this is a game that or good news. Actually, you know what? That's very good news for this game, because it means it does not wear out its welcome. But my God, that 7.5 hours felt like an eternity. Because I played it for 4 hours, I put it down, and then Hassan, I was talking to you about it like a couple weeks ago, or whatever it was, and you had effectively echoed the sentiment that a lot of people have echoed about this game. Like, hey, at least wait until to pass judgment until you get your first the second power, the firepower. And I'm like, okay, I will. And getting there, so I beelined it. I went right to the second, the first main boss, Tanta, whatever her name is. And I'm like, all right, cool. I beat her. And I get the firepower. And I'm like, oh, great. Why did the game not start off with the firepower?
Yeah.
Because 7 hours of throwing rocks sucks. Sucks hard.
Well, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, also getting the firepower also increases your mobility. Is that right?
Something like that, yeah. It feels
it gives you double jump as well or something.
Yeah, you get a zip line kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I didn't unlock anything else with the firepower, so maybe it does give you a double jump, but I didn't get there.
I'm not sure. I seem to recall that as you get more of the powers, they also somewhat increase your mobility. I forget exactly, but Forspoken is definitely a weird game
Mm,
where
very weird.
it just feels like if they tweaked a couple of decisions around this game,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been a great game by any stretch.
No, it wouldn't have been, but
there are core elements of that game that are just problematic. But just a couple little things of like, oh, hey, what if we gave you your second power, within an hour?
Yeah.
So that just off the bat, you're like, hey, actually, maybe a bit of a rough start to this game. But actually, this is seeming pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, what if we didn't make you just run around half as much as we did?
Oh, no. Like, the running around is fine. Oh, wait, you mean like in the actual like towns, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, all that part, it's just like, what are you doing? This is the worst part of this game.
The quote-unquote forced stealth section, which doesn't...
my God.
It's not a stealth section.
Oh, my God.
Because you get... Oh, fuck that. Okay, we'll go through it a little bit, but like I need to point out, like, yes, I agree with you that firepower, or at the very least, they should have found a way to make the purple magic, the rock throwing, way more interesting, because like the first thing to do, you get your rock throwing magic, and they throw a few little enemies at you to test it out. It's like, okay, cool, you can fight against these badgers, infected badgers. They seem to be. Couldn't tell you. And like that's fine. And you throw, like, you get to you get to shoot rocks at them. You're doing this the entire time, like literally this, and you're like pelting things with rocks. And you can hold the you're doing this with the right trigger if you're on a controller, which I was, because why wouldn't I be? And then you can hold the trigger to shoot a larger magical blast that you have assigned to the hold trigger function. You can switch that up with the right bumper, and you can also use support magics on the left trigger, which you can switch up with the left bumper. Then you can press both triggers at the same time to activate your ultimate. Simple, pretty straightforward. And honestly, like, I kind of dig the mix up of it all. Like, okay, you can like toss this on, this does this, now use this support power, plant a bomb, hit them with this thing, okay, and then you can, there's something to the flow of this combat that I think is fairly good, or sorry, can be fairly good. The problem it has is the main attack is you throwing pebbles at people. You're doing this, and you're hitting them with like rocks that deal like 6-7 damage, that kind of thing. And these enemies have like 100+ health, so you have to rely on your big blasts and that kind of stuff. But then like your main attack is this until you stagger them, then you do a kill blow, and like that sometimes will finish off the enemy, but oftentimes it doesn't. So then you're back to shooting rocks at people. And it's just, the game, it's possible, it's very possible that I chose the incorrect difficulty, but by the point where I had realized I may have done that, and I chose hard difficulty, but that's because the game's like, hey, have you played an action game at all? Great, choose this one. I went, okay, sure. That's what I did. But the enemies have such immense health that I feel as if, as I'm shooting rocks, I'm doing fucking nothing. It feels bad. It feels fun and fluid when you're controlling it, but then you see the health bars and they're dwindling.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing what the problem is, and it's that you're a fake gamer guy, and you just need to hand your controller over to Karen and let her play it for you.
It's possible. Yeah, she did latch on really hard to control.
Yeah, you're you're just one of those guys who pretends to like games so that, you'll get girls heard all about you.
It's got to be it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I feel like I maybe am.
I don't know what difficulty I played that on. I'm guessing normal, because most games I start on normal, unless it's sort of in a series or something where, I've played the first one, I know I can handle on hard kind of thing. But I definitely recall that across that game, even once you start getting more powers, the enemies just remain very spongy. It takes a little bit too long to finish them. Every single
enemy has like way too much health.
Especially some of those, they're like optional boss fights you can come across in like the overworld, where you go inside a well or something.
Oh yeah, it's like a well. It's like a big. It's not a well like you're thinking of, but it's like this big tower that has like a sinkhole in it. You can kind of jump into.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
those boss fights, they're just because none of the patterns of the enemies are all that difficult is the thing. So while the combat is fun, eventually against these bigger, spongier enemies, you just get into a boring pattern where you're just going, okay, hit them with the fire power, switch to the rock power to cause an explosion, switch to this other power to apply a shield, switch to this other power, apply lightning or whatever the other, I don't remember the 5 powers. Wind, I think, was one of them.
That's right.
You're just kind of going through these chains while dodging attacks, and it just ends up not being super fun.
Yeah.
But to my earlier point, if they just, it wouldn't even be that difficult to fix some of that stuff, because really all you would have to do is go enemy health equals 1/3.
Yeah.
Basically. And okay, this fight takes 1/3 the amount of time, but it's still kind of fun because just, again, switching between the elements, applying all this, that part's fun. Yeah. It's just not fun when it's stretched out to a 10-minute fight.
Exactly. I agree. So this game has, speaking of the combat, this game has the DNA of Devil May Cry. It gives, as you're fighting guys, it gives you a rank on how good you're doing. And if you get hit, it drops the rank, like in Devil May Cry. The more stylish you perform, the more, the higher your rank will be, the faster it goes up, the better you're able to keep it going, kind of thing, like in Devil May Cry. In fact, this game definitely wants you to be providing, to be like hitting those combos and that kind of stuff. And like, okay, it tells you at the bat, like, yeah, we want you to move, we want you to dodge, we want you to jump and shoot rocks and like hit guys with the fire swords. Once you get the fire swords, the fire magic gives you swords, which is like the way to introduce that should have been the first. You should have started melee. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, point is, as you are doing these things, there's a point where I said, okay, I'm going to give it my best, and I'm going to treat this as if it's a Devil May Cry game. I love Devil May Cry and character action games, and I'm like, oh, okay, wait, the DNA here is character action. Maybe I need to do stuff more along the lines of that. And so I tried that. And because these enemies are so spongy, in the first instance where it tells you, where it gives you the hints of like, hey, character action, it's in a combat with the like the shield guys from like the first Tanta Sintis, and her whole thing. They have shield and spears. Don't worry about it. It doesn't fucking matter. They have shield and spears, and like, oh, okay, shield guys. Obviously, you get behind them, you shoot them from behind. You can freeze them with your bind power, with that kind of stuff. Cool. You think, of course, it's going to be an easier fight once you have them, once you get behind them. But they pivot so fast, like it's actually hard to get behind them. It's just,
they're definitely tuned for, you would have more powers, right?
Yeah.
That's
yes.
Thing is, once you get more powers, you're like, oh, their ability to spin's not a big deal because I have other ways to cope with that.
Exactly. There are other ways to deal with them. And it's like, oh, there are a couple ways to deal with them when they have, when you only have the one purple magic power, which is earth powers. And there's like, okay, you can bind them, or you hit them with the rock blast, which is what I use mostly because I didn't like the other two powers anyway, so who cares? And it's like, yeah, it was like both of these. Oh, and the prime, like make a like a mine power as well. Like those three will knock them down, and you can do kill shots or keep them in place, and you can get behind them, kind of thing. But the support magic recharges so very slowly, it doesn't matter. So you're mostly just kind of shooting your shields with rocks. And the burst doesn't seem to ever land where I want it to. Like the rock explosion, it seems like it's supposed to go out, and then once it hits a target, it should explode. But it seems like it's actually only like a short range. Like it will hit at only a short range, like a shotgun, I guess. That's what they're going for, or something. I'm not really sure. Because if it's like, okay, it sends out this big chunky rock. Great. And it goes out and it goes blah. And it's like, all right, cool. But it doesn't hit a target. It usually just explodes somewhere near them. And like if it does hit, great, it definitely knocks them over. But it's hard to aim, and it's hard to really realize how close you are to enemies. There's something weird with the camera where like aiming and shooting and that kind of stuff, just it feels bad, and it's hard for me to tell where's what. So yeah, I gave it my best character action try, and because the enemies are so spongy, it was like a 10-minute long fight, and I'm like sweating because I'm putting my actual character action effort into this, because hey, I beat Devil May Cry 3 in like the second hardest difficulty, and like that's where I'm at. One of the hardest character action games of all time, second highest difficulty. Fucking let's roll. Virgil is my bitch. For that difficulty anyway. And like, you know, I know what I'm doing, and like this game is making me sweat because, and it's like an endurance run at this point, because if I put my all into it, into every fight, I feel as if I'm dying. Because every fight is way too long. Way too long. Yeah. Except for it's like the break zombies, the people, they go down super fast. I'm like, oh yeah, give me a few more of those. That feels fine. But then like you get to like the sandy plains, and like the enemies there all have like carapace, or like they're like these lizard folks who have like armor on and that kind of thing. Like they're like people with like lizard enhancement kind of things. Or even the birds. It gives you some birds that fly around and just kind of like pelt at you, and they go down pretty fast. But later on in the sandy area, it gives you larger ones that shoot poison, and they are so annoying because they are so full of health and vigor, and then they dive bomb you, and like because the camera sucks and there's no good depth of perception in this game. So when they dive bomb you, I can't dodge out of the way in time, so I usually just waste my health flasks trying to fight these damn things, which leads me to go, nah, I'm good, and just avoid all of them. So, yeah.
Hey, at least the story and world setting, all of that, are top notch. Make up for all your gameplay problems, right?
So everything I said about the combat, that is actually the highlight of this game. And oh boy. So the story is an isekai anime. Not gonna split hairs. This is what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's a double isekai.
Tristan, spoil. It's a reverse isekai.
Because she gets transported from this world to New York as a baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, it's a double isekai.
A reverse isekai.
A reverse would be
coming home.
Well, no. Well, yeah, exactly. But the reverse would be, wait, did she get back to New York eventually?
Yeah.
That's double.
No, man, I'm trying to remember look. Do you want me to spoil some of the ending of the game?
Absolutely, go for it. Who cares?
Whatever he was called, the guy in your jewelry.
Cuff. Whatever his name is, I don't
care.
Yeah.
He's the evil demon thing.
No, you don't say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tell.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like it's weird how much the game tries to play it off as if like it repeatedly going, oh, the 5 witches, whatever they were called, Tantas. They started to hear Tantas. They started to hear this voice, or they talked about hearing a voice, and it drove them crazy, and blah blah blah. And then the whole time your character's like, Hey, Cuff, only I can hear you. It sure is weird that a mystery voice drove those people insane, right, Cuff? This voice, oddly, I can hear it. And it's like, who was writing this? And not going like, people are going to piece this together immediately. Why are we trying to make this as if it'll be a surprise to anybody?
Frey even points it out. Like, there's a certain point where she's like,
yeah,
100%.
I wasn't paying attention.
And I'm like, and she points out, like, hey, Cuff, you just told me to, like, basically, like, you know, show my enemies no mercy and, like, tear them to pieces and all this stuff. What's up with that? That's kind of not cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's fucking evil, Frey. No shit, Sherlock. This evil thing has attached itself to your body like a fucking parasite. Like, forcing you to do these things. It's not guiding you. It's forcing you to. It's drugs. It's a drug allegory. It always is. If it drip feeds you the good stuff, then goes like, oh, you know, maybe we just maybe if we kill one more Tanta, you get more powers, and you can go back home. Oh, okay.
There's even one of the Tantas where when you go to fight them at one point, whatever his like demon name is, they just outright say like, oh, you have Lucifer with you. And Frey's just like, huh? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, what game? Why would you? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Just come out and admit it's him. It's silly to do anything else.
I would be more fine with it if the game was just like, and again, I'm only halfway through and I've already discovered this, because it's not subtle. It does a decent job at kind of like giving you to alluding to this. I will give it that. The allusion to it being evil is definitely there. It's obvious, but it's subtle enough where if you've never experienced a story like this before in your life, you'd be like, oh, that gosh darn Cuff tricked me. But because I have, because this is a very common story, especially in anime and that kind of stuff, and video games especially, it's like, yeah, of course this thing's evil. I understand this is going to be, a twist later on. I'm going to learn this thing is the Demon King or something. And, that is what it is. So yeah, the Cuff is pretty annoying, as well, which is a problem. I'm not sure if they wanted us to actually dislike the Cuff or actually like it, because it toes the line of being kind of charismatic, but like way too chatty. But so is Frey.
My problem with the Cuff is that it feels very like early 2010s, or not even early 2010s. I would say like 2005-ish through to probably like 2012. it felt like there were a lot of British characters that were written that way. I remember there's like in the first couple of Assassin's Creed games, there's a guy who's like that, and just several other like the best way I guess I could think to describe them would be I don't want to get his name wrong. Is it? Yeah, I think Stephen Merchant is who I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, sure, yep. Makes sense.
Kind of reminds me of like that. Just very dry, sardonic. So I remember playing it and just going,
yep.
This feels outdated by like 10 years.
Yep. I agree with that. It is definitely that kind of character. Like I said, he's charismatic enough where like, okay, just try to find the silver lining in the storm cloud is like, so Cuff and Frey occasionally have a pretty fun relationship as friends, sort of. However, when you take a step back and you think about the things that are happening, none of this makes any sense why people are like happy to have this shit around. So you mentioned before, like Frey will frequently talk to this Cuff that's on her. Well, to you, this is my left hand. I have footage reversed. Her on her right arm. Basically, she's talking to this thing, like holding it in the air and like looking at it and talking to it, and she's doing this out loud. So, and crowds of people, and nobody is going like, huh, there's something wrong with that. That's bad. Pretty sure I've heard of this before, where the Tantas, who we believe are evil, went crazy after talking to jewelry. Perhaps we should kill this one. And like, yeah, yes. But then like the townsfolk thing, and like I can't remember the name of the city, Cipal, I think it is Cipal, Cipal, I think is the way it's spelled. I couldn't glean the pronunciation of it because the people from the city pronounce it one way, but then Frey and Cuff both pronounce it two different ways, and I'm like, what? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, Cipal is the name of the city.
All right, cool.
Yeah, this game, they thought they had something.
They did
with the setting of it overall and the story they're telling. Like even just the start of that game, it is so drawn out of the time you're in New York and you're in the
New York
rundown apartment and all that, just to get to the other world.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, why is this taking like 40 minutes in my head? Maybe I'm wrong, but in my head, that was a long set. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say an hour. I was like,
it's close. It's close.
An hour?
Like an hour. Here's the thing. There's a reason why isekai anime, they will tend to move it along kind of fast.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Character just going,
hit by a truck.
From another world where I was an everyday salaryman who hated his life. I got hit by a truck, and now I'm the most powerful swordsman here in Magic Land.
There are plenty of isekai that just hand wave that shit and go, and like I've watched, there was one, I can't remember when I watched it, but what it's called. But like she's like a princess, but she loves magic kind of stuff, but she's more like a building kind of artificer kind of person. She loves science more than anything. And it's like, she is actually from our world, but then like, in reality, the show doesn't care at all about that, the isekai aspect. Apparently it's a big deal in like the light novels, but it's like, okay, it's such a non-entity. We just shoved it aside. She mentions it like once, and then we don't care ever again. That's how a lot of these guys are. We're like, hey, we know this is the trope. We're gonna get you to the other world within, like you said, 30 seconds because we don't give a shit about the original world. Unless somehow we're doing something kind of like funky with the isekai genre, we don't give a crap. Meanwhile, this game's like, I think we need about an hour of us bumming around New York and getting like attacked by hooligans and going to court. You go to court and look at evidence, and then your apartment burns down, and you have to give your cat away, but you don't have the wherewithal to grab the fucking money in the bag to leave your burning apartment before looking for your cat. It's a shoulder bag. You could have done both. You're going to need the bag anyway for the cat.
Yeah. And then you get to whatever the world of Sipal is called.
I can't tell you. It's Althi something? Altinua? Something like that.
Athia.
Athia.
Athia?
It's Athia.
Okay,
yeah,
Athia.
Yeah. Atheism.
And then they try and have this, there's political intrigue because this group from this city didn't like this other group, and it just does not do a good. It should have just been, you get isekai in this other world. Oh, here's a magic cup. Yeah. Oh, you meet it. What they should have done was had I can't remember. Deborah something, I want to say her name is. Voice actress who's in a million games these days.
They should have just had it.
Yeah, they should have just had it be, she wasn't a Tanta, but she was learned in their ways, and she's just going to give you a series of goals where she's like, hey, you need to go here and do this thing to get this power to beat the first Tanta and liberate this. Like, they should have just made this game just a very basic plot, fairly straightforward, minimal, just, we're going to give you a mission and you just go do that thing, not waste your time, instead of like, oh, you beat the first Tanta? Now you have to come back to the town and spend like 20 minutes walking around.
Yep, exactly. And this is a game, like, so by the time when you beat the first Tanta, and you get your fire powers, the game immediately goes like, all right, great. What you should do right now as well, because like we understand, we got to speed it up. Fast travel to Sipal. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm sure I'm going to do a quick little thing in Sipal, then leave there, go to the next town and defeat the next Tanta. Along the way, I'll learn more fire. Sure. Nope. So what happens is, and this is kind of where I fell off of it. So you go there, they hail you as like the hero of Sipal. You killed Tanta Sintas, and like, we're going to throw you a party and all this stuff. And great. Fantastic, cool. Thanks for doing that, guys. And then the city gets destroyed effectively, and like wiped out like half the population in there, and they're forced to retreat to like the higher city, the upper city, where they can like outlast the break. It's called. It's and then like before that though is the first time you're using your powers besides the more movement-based mechanics, where it teaches you how to use those right away, because like you don't get to use your flaming cool new magic until these guys show up, which are like the weird like crystalline enemies. And the first time you ever encounter them, the game goes, fucking run away from these guys. And in this fight, the second time you ever encounter them, you're like, oh shit, they showed up, and you go to run away from them, and then it goes like, oh, you're supposed to, you can't run away. You're moving away from the target area, and they force you back into the fight. And it's like, Oh, so now I had to fight them? You told me not to. You told me these guys would kill me in one hit. What are we doing here? At no point did I think I was ready for this, because I just got these new powers. Like, yeah, I put mana into these powers to get like some of the other like abilities out of it. But I'm like, this is how you're teaching me how to use them? Okay. Yeah, it's very poorly set up.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
I don't care for most of the visuals in this game.
It's kind of a bad looking game.
Not even like bad looking. None of it's interesting to look at to me.
Oh, fair enough.
Everything from the like clothing design to just enemy designs, it just seems very.
I'm saying.
Try hard is kind of the best term I can think of. Just trying to be unique for unique sake, and so like the what's that quote about like a good character design is one where you can identify the character just by the silhouette.
Yeah.
And
Avery,
for a lot of the enemies, I feel like it needed to apply that where it's kind of just hard to tell what an enemy is going to do or trying to do in terms of attack animations and what you should be doing to react. Like if they had just made the enemies look a little bit more, I'd almost say generic zombie, they just look like normal humans in a way, would have made it so much clearer what enemies are doing and just interesting.
Yes. I agree with all that because, I will say this, some of the environment is okay looking. Like occasionally you get like a pretty cool looking vista. And it's like, oh, okay, I see what they're going for. And it's like kind of a nice way to like kind of design this plateau, or, I could see where like, there's been like a ring of rock over here. Like, it kind of frames this in certain ways. Like, that's fun. Sure. It's typical fantasy, especially if you read any fantasy or, play any other games that are fantasy. Like, it's typical stuff, but they do it well enough. But the problem is, I agree entirely, is that like this game's visual design is it's terrible for the most part. Because like I didn't mention this with the combat, but one of the problems with the combat as well is reading enemy attack patterns, because sometimes they just fire that shit out. Like there's no wind up, there's nothing to like give you an idea of what's going to happen, and therefore you can react to it. Because the game thinks you're not going to care enough about it anyway, because like it wants you to like be always moving. And it's like, yeah, if you're doing it correctly, you're never going to be in one place long enough to really even have to dodge. And I will say this: the boss fight between with Tanta Sentis is the best part of the combat in the game that I've had, because like that was like, okay, so it's well telegraphed. I understand what she's doing. I don't understand like some of her attacks. She has this dash. She has a few like fireball based things. She's gonna drop fireballs on top of you in like a teleporting kind of way. She's gonna like put up a wall of fire, and then there's a third phase where she like will like go more like engulfed in flames and like light the whole stage on fire, except for like higher up areas kind of thing. You gotta get the high ground. That kind of stuff. Yeah, okay. Yes, there's telegraphing, and this aspect works, but then every other fight is so very difficult because like none of it feels good. The zombies, they have an attack where they just kind of like do this, and it's just if it's out of nowhere. they don't have any real wind up to it. They just like run over to you and just do that, and that's their attack, and it doesn't look like an attack. It looks like the way they run. And then like everything else has stuff like that too, where it doesn't look like an attack until it's suddenly sprung on you, but the game expects you to dodge out of the way. And then there's a counterattack button, but like it's the triangle button for some reason. And it's just like, why is this? What? Why? Because you're trying to at the same time. I didn't get to this aspect either, but the camera is so fucking terrible. Like, and everything moves. Everything's trying to move around you to get behind you and take you out that way, to a point where you have to be moving a lot. So you're always using the thumbstick to try and move and like look at your enemies. And the lock-on button it doesn't work half the time, personally. And like this the controller. Right, I'm using a PS4 controller. It's the same controller I played all of Elden Ring on, and otherwise it works very well. There's no drift. It's a perfect controller, no problem. And yet this game is just like, oh, we don't know if you clicked in the right thumbstick. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so like the purple like lock-on symbol like would only come up half the time, so I'd be trying to figure out if I'm locked onto enemies at all. So I can pelt them with rocks, and like, but because I'm trying to do that, I'm like mostly trying to control like the camera enough to get my targets, and then occasionally dodge out of the way, because like Frey will just stop running, like free running at certain times, and then I have to like, okay, now I'm gonna hit triangle to do a kill attack or do a counter attack or whatever it is, and I'm like, there's too much of this happening. I'm like, I don't know if this sucks to play. And like, if the visual design was better, at least then I can kind of anticipate the attacks a little easier, and that way I can kind of be like, okay, they're coming in for this, and now I know I'm going to want to dodge this way, or like be a little more airborne, that kind of thing. And I'm just like, this game needs more interesting and more telegraphed visual design. Also, like I said, I agree with the fact that like the landscapes look fine until like you get to like more civilized parts where like it just.
Oh yeah, the towns are so generically boring.
Especially the like the ones that are just kind of like out in the wild, where you just come across a ruined town or whatever. And like, that's fine. Like, not every town's gonna be pretty, but like the inns, like the little church things you stay in, why is it the same fucking thing each time?
Oh.
Also, the awning is too short. Like the door you walk through is too short.
Like, as a game, it kind of reminds me of one of the lessons they learned with Final Fantasy 14. That's on, yes, Final Fantasy 14, the online one, where they talk about, one of the mistakes they made when that game first launched was that I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I think they talked about like how they had a barrel where, because we're Square Enix and, we were known for our visual prowess and all that, these barrels were like so meticulously, worked on an artistic level, and like, we have to fully model the metal banding around it and have that be like a totally separate rigging onto, it's not just one texture thing. And that's like, hey, they just burned a lot of time and resources doing this stuff instead of like actually focusing on an interest game. And in some ways I feel like that affects this game, where they just kind of spent too long going, man, what if we make these grass and rocks look really good, and these bricks are going to be super detailed. It's like, okay, but what if you had half as much detail in the textures, and instead you came up with interesting designs to the buildings, or you thought out these towns to be more than just like, okay, this is just a series of buildings. I can't look at this and go, that was clearly a house, and this road flows in this weird way because, it was clearly this house must come first, but then that house, but then they built this big building, so then they had to like have an offshoot kind of thing. Like, it's just so missing that. It's crazy.
It gives a lot of like man-made bridges that go fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
like, way
right.
too many. It's like, oh, cool, a bridge to nothing. There's a brick wall here. What are you doing? Not even a door.
I had to look it up because I thought it was the case. So the studio that made this originally, Luminous Productions, they were not quite shuttered, but they ended up getting sort of
they got the Activision treatment.
Basically merged under Creative Business Unit 2 because Square Enix, rather than calling and to be fair, this is somewhat common in bigger Japanese companies. I know Nintendo's the same, and I think even Capcom does this too, where instead of giving sort of individual groups and teams proper names, so if you think about something like an EA or an Activision, there aren't games that will say the development studio is Activision, right? They still let their studios have Treyarch, Infinity Ward.
They do.
Obviously, they've forced entities under that, but they still kind of give them names. Blizzard's maybe kind of another example, right? They're clearly teams within Blizzard, but they don't call it like, oh, this is Blizzard North, Blizzard. It's just Blizzard. So like Square Enix just has these like Business Unit 1. That's the Final Fantasy team. 2 apparently does the Saga series now. Blah, blah, blah. But actually, I would have liked to have seen Luminous Productions not make a Forspoken 2 because I just don't think you could make Forspoken 2 interesting, to be honest.
They were good.
But I would have liked to see them
a little more,
be given an opportunity of, okay, it's not a Forspoken sequel, but we want you to take sort of the skeleton of the things you've done around the combat, around the movement and that. And let's hey, now that you've built this foundation and you can hopefully save some time, skip some steps, let's see what you can do. Because No Clip, which is a
documentary series,
originally documentary series, Danny O'Dwyer has expanded out into more, but one of the things that repeatedly crops up in a bunch of these documentaries, whether it's something like oh god, I can't think of the name of the team, but the ones who made like Lara Croft. Before that, they made the Gex games. And one of the things they talk about is, the reason we were able to do a bunch of stuff with Lara Croft is we learned a lot about how not to do certain things with Gex. Or like, we built this thing with Gex, but it took us like 6 months to get this far, and it didn't quite feel good. So then when we did Lara Croft, we could take all that work and code we did and bring it over, and then it only took us another 3 months to be like, this feels amazing now. And there's just things about Forspoken where it felt like that was the situation. If you gave that team another crack, they'd be like, it took us 18 months to get to this point. But for this other game we made, I'll just call it Forsaken.
Sure.
Fictitious game, right? If they made some game called Forsaken, and that's like, it literally took us only like another 4 months, and now it feels awesome, right? Because we had 18 months of work that we just got to build on top of.
Like there's the thing. This is kind of what I was building to as well. It was exactly that. Is that Luminous should not have been force merged into Creative Team 2 under Square Enix, because if they had have given them a second shot at making another game, you're like, okay, this one was like it's a big flop because we put a lot of money on it. We were kind of riding high on it, and then like we released it to basically negative reviews, and it kind of became a laughing stock online because of the really cringy dialogue and all this stuff. But lessons learned. Let's try again, because now you guys have all this background of like, okay, you know what not to do, but you also know what to do and how to make it better, because you have all this code, all these designs. Hell, they probably have a ton of like concept art for effectively a different game that this could have been. And it's like, all right, let's try and revive maybe some of that. It's like we can try and take what was over here and over there and up here, just bring it back down. And now this like really scattershot, weird looking thing that's Forspoken can actually be a much more cohesive package. And hey, this one's actually pretty good because like, hey, like yeah, we've refined the movement. The combat's really good. We don't spend there's no weird long loads between areas. There's no like weird long like pauses between menu options. Like when you hit the map button, when you hit the button to bring up your inventory and map and that kind of stuff, it doesn't take 10 seconds to bring the map up. Why does it take 10 seconds to bring the map up? Stuff like that, where it's like, hey, we now know how to kind of like I said, refine it, really make this work, bringing it back down to like a really cohesive package, and just like now we can keep going as a team. But that is unfortunately not the current climate of video game production in AAA spaces, because like if you fail your title, well, too fucking bad, get out of here.
Well, and also it's fun. There was I forget exactly how you worded it, but there was something you said that in my brain it made me realize, man. So Forspoken, that came out on January 24th, 2023. So barely over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And yet, in that short frame of time, we went from, well, hey, a publisher taking a weird, not so good game results in a Forspoken to instead, in the last 6 months, we have had both Concord and Highguard come out and just be utter flops.
Yeah.
In a way that you look back and you go, hey, Forspoken definitely a flop, but not even remotely close to the just failures that happen with everybody trying to chase the Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, Call of Duty live service peaks. Could we maybe go back to Forspokens instead and get these like, look, hey, these games aren't amazing, but like you said, it's getting a revival online because people can do that. Whereas literally no one can play Concord. No, it's unplayable.
Yeah, it's done. They removed it from servers unless you somehow have loved Concord enough to make a weird revival server in which you were running it yourself and found the back end way to do so. That's the only way to play Concord, but you have to like know that person. Like if you, the live service extraction shooter, hero shooter kind of situation, where a lot of people were kind of like jumping onto that sort of formula and are, is like, it's super unfortunate because like we all are sick of this already, and you've had this game in the work for 2 years and couldn't foresee that in 2 years people were going to be sick of this genre because there's 20,000 games coming out with this in this genre.
Well, and people have like they've planted their flags. Like I'll be honest, I play one of those. I play Genshin. I've kind of no interest in ever playing another that's the thing. Yeah, playing another one because it's like, well, no, I've got the one that I've invested my time into. Why would I ever go pick up another one? Especially ones that have like a story where it's like, well, I want to see, maybe once Genshin's story is complete, sure, then I change. But in Square's case, a Final Fantasy, right? If you're someone who's playing Final Fantasy 14, somebody else tries to come out and be like, no, you should play this other live service game. Like, no, I've got 1,000 hours into Final Fantasy 14. I enjoy that game. Why would I ever pick up a new one?
There's a creator I watched. Speaking of Final Fantasy 14, actually, creator I watched called Pint. She basically went from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy 14. Like, was a hard line, like thousands of hours to WoW, and then switched over to Final Fantasy 14 and then put thousands of hours into that game instead. And I think that is a massive anomaly. To a point where I think there's a MMOs especially. I think you can do this, because at least there aren't a whole lot of MMOs right now that are like out there because they're either shut down or old enough to survive. There's no new MMORPGs, and that's for a very good reason. They're hard to make. Simply put. But a hero shooter, an extraction shooter, that kind of stuff, where they have MMO vibes, they're easier to make, and you can just kind of like, they're the new hotness now, that kind of thing. And that gets studios and companies looking at those with like very hungry eyes. So kind of like what you're saying there. The problem is, though, like I said, once they die for good. Unlike a Forspoken, which is a single player action game, you can just keep playing that. It's as long as you can purchase it in some way or pirate it, you can definitely play Forspoken. Because you don't need an online account. You don't need to play it with friends. There's no friends to play it with.
Until the Forspoken MMO gets released later this year.
Oh man, this world is boring enough for me to see it as an MMO. I will. Not saying that all MMOs are boring. I'm not saying that, but sometimes
just they can't all be RuneScape,
RuneScape has some fascinating shit to it. RuneScape, if you look into like the really
take your word on it.
If you look into like the deepest, darkest aspects of RuneScape, you're like, holy fuck. It's got some systems that like shouldn't be there, but they're there. Like the whole like the way the currency works is fucking wild. Anyway, we should probably wrap this up. Forspoken is, in my opinion, not a very good game. I think that if you are intrigued by the revival aspect of this game, like I said, there is scuttlebutt of people going like, "Hey, this game is actually not that bad. We should all give it a shot." If you're intrigued by that, maybe give it a shot. I do not think that there is a demo for it, unfortunately. So your only good bet is to like purchase it when it's cheap and then try it there. But again, I further caution that, because if you're like me and you play it on PC and Steam, and you know, like, I'll just play for 2 hours and like take advantage of the very generous 2-hour time slot to effectively return the game for refund. Oh, the game has other plans for you. Because it's the kind of thing where like you gotta like invest to reap the rewards of that. And man, you can pick this game up cheap. Yeah, just cheap, like really cheap. Like I said, I got it for like $15 or something like that. So just wait until it's on that kind of sale if you're interested in it. If you were really interested in it, then like you're probably the kind of person who was going to buy it at full price anyway.
It does have a demo.
Does it? Okay.
Somehow it's a full price game still. That's weird.
It is.
I'm
yes.
shocked they have
not dropped the price at all. Which is insane to me. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Sure.
I wonder what's on the demo. Curious.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the opening.
Yeah, hopefully not. It's just the New York stuff.
Look, if they wanted to fix that game, they would have had Matt Berry voice the Cuff, and he would just constantly going, New York City.
That'd be all right. You know what? The Cuff was a little more flamboyant, a little more boisterous.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. A little more.
Don't worry, Frey. After we defeat them, we'll get you back to your New York City. Just constantly saying that. And it's like, look, he said it the 95th time now, but I'm okay with it every time.
I like hearing him say this. I was thinking like it'd be fun to just like a mod that this would require. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I want a mod for Forspoken, just replacing all of Cuff's spoken dialogue with just sound clips from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay, yeah, I could see that too.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think that would work. I'm sure there's enough like mentioning of New York City in Drag Race. I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap it up. I could probably honestly talk about this game for a lot longer, which is saying something.
I think we've said enough.
I think we have, yeah. But there are nitpicky things that I can even discuss about this game that I could go further on. But like, yeah, I didn't even mention how annoying Frey is. She's annoying. One thing before we go. One of the reasons why the story is so bad is because Frey flip-flops on her opinion on things very frequently. She's incredibly bipolar that way, where she'll be like, I gotta save these people. Fuck these people. Anyway, moving on. Do you have anything else you want to say about Forspoken?
No, I think we covered it all.
All right, cool. You should go to our social media, which is Blue Sky, which is at EIFNAR. Go there and basically, if you want to say anything about Forspoken, you should do that. I'm curious about people who have played this game and did or did not like it. It's definitely an interesting game to talk about, I think. You should go to our Spotify, iTunes pages, rate us something, leave a review, tell your friends about us, and then if you were so kind, go to our YouTube page and like and subscribe in the show. That would be fantastic. And then go to our guy who writes the music site, djdane.com. He's the guy that writes music. Listen to his great tunes. And if you would like, just send him to a different universe, just so he can be like an all-powerful wizard in that universe, but only in that universe.
I don't know that she's all powerful.
Okay, well, a pretty powerful wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably don't want him all powerful because then he might seek revenge on us. You know,
Ooh, it's true. Yeah. Well, we didn't do it. Just the person who I'm requesting to do this. Also, I will point to the end, but the isekai aspect of this game, she's not like self-absorbed into one single thing enough to like really make it a proper isekai. Like, where's her like, I can order things off Amazon, or I have an extreme calculating mind.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
That! No, I kind of want to play that. Anyway, that's it for our show. Tune in next time for another Exergues episode of Everything is Fine, Everything is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.